Okay. Okay. Yes. Splitting rules. We've already made splitting rules. I'm just actually um, repeating what we have actually done in the past. Okay. Splitting structure method that we have assigned over here. Now, what is splitting structure? This is used for cost component structure, and we'll discuss more about this. Equivalence number planning. Now, what is equivalence number planning? This is used basically for cost center distribution to production centers. Okay, so it will be based on numbers that we give, like 50%, 20%, 30%, or 50 units or 30 units based on that. That's equivalence. So next step is okay. Select we are using the splitting method 21. Okay. Version from value 0. Okay. And let's save it. That line. So basically, this is applied on version 0. So we are already using version 0. Now we'll go for splitting structures. Splitting structures. And over here we have splitting structure, X9 assignments. Splitting assignment rule is ZAP9. This is the rule from here. We have taken ZAP9 and ZAP9 selection for assignment. Selection for assignment, and ours will be new entries. Cost element will be the group overhead cost. Okay. And activity type will be test. Save. It was saved. Now, next step is OKEW. This is what we are actually doing today. Splitting structure we've done, assignment to cost centers, then cost component structure. Now, these are very important areas for a CO consultant. Okay. OKKS. That line. Continue. Okay. W. Okay. Okay. W. Cost center will be X100. X1009. All versions fiscal year is 2020, 24, and change. Okay. Now, under the splitting structure, okay, under the splitting structure, this is our splitting structure. We will assign. Oh, sorry. Assign, and this is assigned to this splitting structure. Now, X109 basically is quality control for indirect activity that we did in the last lecture. Okay. Now, let's save it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Next step is, what is the next step? Next step is, let me just show you. Category 3, direct entry, indirect allocation. Now, direct entry means your hours, your units, your um, SKUs or hours will be direct entry, manual entry. Okay, and indirect allocation is that. What is indirect allocation? If I repeat, if I revise, okay, it's like that. Uh, there is a quality assurance testing laboratory. Okay, that testing laboratory has to pass, for example, they're manufacturing glass, like drinking glass, and they have manufactured like 10,000, and quality assurance will count and quality check the glasses. Out of those 10,000, of course, some will be cracked, some will be distorted. So like 20% will be discarded and rejected, while 80%. So indirect allocation is that your overheads will be applied to the rest 80%, not the entire production. So that 20% is that scrap, that is a scrap variance. You'll see that also. Okay. So if you're going for that indirect allocation, activity planning. What is activity planning? That, okay, activity planning is that quality assurance lab will count out of 10,000, they have estimated, forecasted that they planned 9,500. But in reality, they could only count and pass 80,000. So there is a discrepancy or a difference of 15,000. Okay. So planning can be done in KP26. Okay. Price can be calculated for each counting of the glass for past glass, not failed, not scrap. That price can be calculated. So in actual sender activity, the sender activity is that out of 10,000, 80,000 are counted. That is the activity. And sender quantity can be entered through KB51N. So you have a price for counting. Okay. So the quantity is 80,000. Okay. And price can be for 10,000 per 10,000 per piece or for 10,000 lot. Okay. But the activity was 80,000 for past. Okay. So price will be calculated based on the difference between this thing for 10,000 and the activity of 80,000. So then quantity and cost can be allocated. For example, center quantity is 720 hours, allocated quantity is based on the cost center's activities will be this. Allocation basis 300, 200, 220. So that becomes 720 hours. Okay. Category 2, indirect entry, indirect allocation. Indirect entry and indirect allocation. This is category 2. Activity planning is not allowed because in indirect, for example, if I want to give the example, it will be like for example, indirect entry. Usage of electricity. Okay. Usage of electricity is recorded for the warehouse and for the production facility. Okay. Now, you cannot actually forecast how many units will be consumed. You can only give an average. You cannot plan it. So it's not allowed. So this is category 2 and this is category 3. So price can't be calculated because sender quantity is unknown. It's unpredictable. Sender activity is not allowed. It cannot be entered. The price can't be calculated. Only quantity will be allocated. How many units have been consumed for electricity? So sender quantity is always finalized after the activities allocated. Activities allocated to production center from electricity unit cost center. That cost center which is responsible for recording electricity units. So it will send the quantity. Only then we can calculate the price. So allocated quantity is 300 items for 1 hour, 200 items for an hour. For example, now this is in 1 hour, how many units have you consumed? while you passed 300 items of your glass. I mean, this is another example, not electricity unit, but for electricity unit, I am actually estimating 1 hour. In 1 hour, you can use 20 units, maybe 30. So 1 hour is indirect. So instead of counting the units, you are counting the hours. Okay. So in that case, you are not counting units of electricity, but you're counting hours. That's you. So hours is indirect to electricity unit usage. I hope you get the point. Okay. So now let's define the cost component structure. It is Z. Now, cost component structure. Cost component structure 0, 1. This is sample layout. Okay. Copy as X9 for ZAP 9, and primary cost split chart of accounts ZAP 9 cost element. Now we have to actually cost element. Now this origin group is also in material master. Okay. Now this is very important part of costing, cost component structure, because this actually decides how you will actually cost. This is chart of accounts. That 9, not cost. Cost element. Okay, let's do one thing. 30201. Expense accounts, internet expenses. Internet expenses. Okay. That is 641. Expense. 36 BT. Let's see the control data of this primary call. Category 1. Create bank interest G04. Okay. Lab 9. We have vehicle, electricity, salary, travel. We have to actually take one. 4600. Maybe we can take salary. Okay, I mean, this is continue. Save. We have left it empty for a while right now, but we will actually fill it. Okay. Uh, Attributes. Okay. We have raw materials. Okay. We don't need this. It has copied actually. What we'll do, we'll delete this. Deletion not allowed. Leave this. Now, this cost component structure, basically, what is the basically the baseline is new entries. Just a second, I'll just. Perfectly Z. Perfectly Z 01. L2 attributes. Okay. Over here, what do we have? Consumables, electricity, rent, and salaries. Now, we have variables, fixed and variables, fixed and variable, fixed and variable. Now, we will need cost centers and cost elements over here, assignment of cost elements. Cost component structure, chart of accounts, cost element, from where we'll be getting? From for which part? For consumables part. For electricity, we will need a cost element to pass on the cost of electricity from this one using this cost component structure. So what basically we are doing is we are matching cost element of electricity with cost component structure of 30. Now in costing, why do we need cost component structure? Because in 30, you will have multiple cost elements. So to point it to one node, that is electricity, this will actually get absorbed in the material that is being produced. I hope you're getting the point now. Okay. Okay, I'll repeat. Cost component structure. What is cost component structure? Basically, this is used for costing for material. And why is it used? For absorption of various expenses like electricity, rents, salaries, utilities, and of course, etc. So, for example, let me give you an example. There are multi company codes. One is in France, one is in Dubai, other is in UK, and their manufacturing is in Vietnam, for example. Okay. Now, in Vietnam, the CFO wants to know the finished good costing. Okay. Yes, direct and indirect expenses and overheads. Costing. Now, all of these are incurring expenses. Okay. These are incurring expenses for all of this. Okay. And that is directly affecting or influencing production, for example. Okay. So to absorb all of this, what do we need? Because, for example, in this location, you have 10 stores. 10 stores. Let's expand it further. 10 stores, each location. So that means we have 1, 2, 3. 3 locations means we have 30 stores. 30 stores will have 30 rentals, 30 bills, 30 other utilities and expenses. Okay. So if I try to sum up all 30, it will be a hassle. Okay. Too much of legwork, reconciliation, and stuff. So what I need is a composite cost component structure. It gives a structure where I can club all expenses like rents, electricity, utilities, anything I can, okay, anything. So my cost component structure will have heads to capture overheads. Okay, overheads of electricity, rent, salaries, other expenses, and whatnot. So I will make these all. That's what I've actually done over here. L2. L2 cost components. These are the components. I will capture all. And for example, in electricity, what I will do, I will assign cost elements from various company codes. Okay. I hope you get the point now. Okay. Clear? Okay. Let me get here and find out where is my X9, which is not active because I have to yet define the attributes. Cost component structure is LX9, 10 consumables, which can be variable, okay, and fixed and variable or variable cost. Roll-up cost. Now, what is roll-up? Roll-up cost. For example, I'm making cartons. The process of cartons is such that first paper is shredded, then it is burned, made into liquid, then spread out on a framework, then pressed, heated, rolled out, painted, laminated, back. So how many processes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. 10 processes each process will involve labor plus overheads plus overheads will be fixed plus variable, right? Now, when paper is shredded, this is raw material burned, raw material made into liquid. Made into liquid is semi-finished good, spread out on a framework, semi-finished, 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 rolled out is finished. Then paint and laminated is finished. Packed, it's finished. Okay. So every part is incurring cost or expense. That is rolled up from raw material up to semi-finished good and up to finished good till the last. That is roll up. Okay, roll up cost component and criteria for cost component use on itemization. Now, itemization is part of material master. Cost of this will be a part of cost of goods manufactured, inventory valuation, fixed and variable cost, commercial inventory, fixed and variable cost, transfer pricing. We'll discuss this later. This is not relevant for now. Okay. And enter. Okay. Next entry. X9, 20. Oh, sorry. 30. Electricity, fixed plus variable. Okay, fixed plus variable. Okay. Next entry. X9, 50. Rent, fixed plus variable. Why variable? Because you might be using warehouses for pay as you occupy the space. Okay. X9, 90. Salaries, fixed plus variable. Okay. Save. Save. Let's stop over here now. Okay.